You are now tuned into First and Locks with Rico's Locks and Coach BK Picks.
Welcome in, everybody, to the fourth episode of the First and Locks podcast. Here with my co-host BK. How you doing today, BK?
Oh, brother, we're doing well. Much better now. I was sick
Dude.
last week. That's why we missed the episode. Sorry, folks. We made it up to you on the live. That was a fun one too, man. We went.
Yeah, that was a good live.
Crazy.
We gotta start doing those every Saturday now. The people are gonna want us to do them every Saturday now after how we just did. Yeah, let's talk about last week and what we had last week and all that kind of stuff. Hold on just a second. So yeah, let's talk about the Syracuse and Georgia Tech game first. So that game, just like how I thought and how I talked about on the live, played out exactly the way I thought it was. It was a letdown spot for Georgia Tech. They came in high off those two, or really the Florida State win, not their next win, but they came in high off 2 wins. They were ranked. People saw that they were ranked, and of course, people were running to the window betting them because they're ranked.
Yeah.
But Syracuse, as we both know, BK, is not an easy place to play at.
No.
So that's why I liked them with the points. I just thought the value was there, and I had to take them there. So that was a good one.
They about gave it away to him, man, at the end there, dude. They about gave it away to him, but they held on strong for you.
Yeah, they looked strong in the first half, though. McCord was balling, and then, they almost gave it up. I was a little nervous, but then I did have the +3. So at the end of the day, I mean,
exactly.
I could have probably pushed it worse. But anyways, that was a good one. And then we had Texas, Michigan, of course.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of friends that are Michigan fans, so we were giving them some shit. Finally, gave them that humble pie that they deserve. What do you think about that game?
Man, the humble pie I have so wished and asked for weeks upon weeks, my boy. We guessed it beautifully. I told everybody on the live that I felt like they weren't going to be able to handle.
We both said the offense wasn't going to get going,
man.
and what happened? They didn't do shit. That quarterback was overthrowing passes. All they were doing was trying to run the ball.
Yeah,
that just wasn't working. It was too obvious. Yeah, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I like Texas, man. I knew their offense was going to be way too much for them to handle. Of course, Michigan's defense looked solid early, but I mean, you can only hold that offense away for so long, especially when you're back on the field 2 minutes later because your offense went 3 and out. I mean, It was the recipe for success. In that game, I had
and Quinn Ewers was just so cool under the pressure. Like, you seen the video of him just out there, like taking pictures with fans. Like, dude was just like the big house was nothing to him. He wasn't fazed by it. It was awesome. Yeah, he played great. Isaiah Bond looked good. Jalen Blue got that touchdown for us. That was nice. We had that parlay, so that was clutch. But yeah, moving on, we had what else? Let me talk about this one because this one was crazy for me. Iowa versus Iowa State. Let's talk about this one because I was watching this game the whole game. So Iowa at first was just running the ball, doing whatever they were wanting to do, owning the field position battle. It was 13-0, I think, at the end of the first half, and I was like, I'm absolutely cooked. I thought I was cooked. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I don't know how we come back and do anything in this game. We had like maybe 2 or 3 first downs in the first half. Iowa State did. It was looking rough. They got down the field a couple of times, missed a field goal, and that had me pissed because it should have been 13-3 at the half. And then they come out second half and they score a touchdown immediately. And I was like, oh shit, they threw a bomb. And I was like, oh shit. And then next thing you know, they got some stops. And then end of the game, they get the ball and they go right down the field and kick that field goal from 50-something yards out and nailed it for the win. Dude, that was.
And what's crazy is you're sitting there talking about the fact like you thought it was cooked. Like, and I told you in the first quarter, I said we've had some crazy shit happen with some of these games. And we'll talk about a couple of the other ones that were 12 o'clock games that we'll also mention that will give some context. But I told him, I said, we've had some crazy events happen today with those 12 o'clock games. I wouldn't be shocked if something crazy happened. And sure enough, freaking Iowa State still won. It was wild.
Which ones did we skip over that you wanted to mention real quick?
Oklahoma State -6.5, an absolute wild ending there.
Kansas State too.
They should have won. Okay, Oklahoma State should have won in regulation by a touchdown. I don't know if people realize this or not, but their quarterback, Bowman, he looked at the sideline and he gave him the pokes. And that's a 15-yard penalty, so it negated a touchdown there late at the end of the game. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they still should have won by a touchdown regardless, but it took them going into OT, both teams missing a field goal, and then Oklahoma State stopping them and getting a touchdown the very next play. I mean,
dude, that was crazy.
Crazy game.
And I knew that spread once again. I'm telling you, bro, we got to watch out for these 8.5 and 9.5 point spreads. That's a dog number so far. It's been crazy how the dog is covered almost every time when it's that spread. Besides when NC State and Tennessee played, you saw what happened. That was bad. That spread went from all the way from 4.5 to 8.5, 9.5 closed at, and for a reason, dude. They freaking blew them out, which was awesome because we had Tennessee as all of our ends of the parlay. We were just sitting there waiting for Tennessee, like, please just end this game already. Like, it was awesome.
I think I had Tennessee as in 6 of my parlays as the last leg. So I was like, bro, please no. Like, don't give me no crazy lines. Yeah. The other one that I wanted to talk about that we gave out was the Tulane Kansas State. Kansas State -6.5. I called it on the live as well. That game ended insanity as well. I mean, you're talking about they scored a touchdown. Kansas State did. Tulane drove down the field. They were on their own 8-yard line and just didn't move after that. Like, they were 8 yards away from winning the game, and one play got called back for a holding that they scored on.
And they threw a pick, right?
Yeah, and then they threw a pick to end it. Yeah. Can't get much crazier, man.
Yeah, dude. Kansas State's defense kind of concerns me, though, man. I don't know. I knew that number was weird on that game too, but Kansas State's defense is concerning, and we'll get to talking about Kansas State and who they're playing this coming week because that's going to be a good game. I'm excited for that one. But anybody else you want to talk about last week recap for early games? Then we'll go over the later ones, and we'll wrap it up.
Last week for the earlier games, one you called on that you said is a stay away spot that I still bid on was Kansas that I wanted to note. That was -6.5. They played shoddy.
That was another game, bro. No, they were -4.5, and that's another game, bro, that I felt like the spread should have been like -7, 7.5. Kansas. And that's the reason why I didn't bet that game because
they were up. Yeah, they were up 2 scores like late in the game, and they just gave it away, man. Like, it was bad. Like, I was disappointed.
Daniel's throwing a lot of picks so far this season too, man. He's kind of
trying to do too much. Don't know how to throw the ball away.
They got to stick to the run game more. That with Neal, bro. Neal's a dog,
man. For sure.
So, yeah, that was crazy. Illinois kind of played good though. You can't discredit Illinois though. They played good. They're 2-0. So shout out to them.
Other one that you gave out on the live, that was an earlier game. It was at 3:30. Texas State. You hit that one right on the money. That line was like -2.5, and Texas State blew them the hell out.
Like I said, for me, it was the line, number one. Number two, they never won the matchup. So you know that coach. I like their head coach a lot. Yeah. You know that I don't even know his name off the top of my head, but I like their coach a lot. And their quarterback's really good as well. But Jordan McLeod from James Madison. I just like the fact that they never won the matchup. I knew he was going to fire him up, and then look, they crushed him. And Owen McCown is just not that good, dude.
No,
for UTSA, I saw him last year when he would come into games. He just didn't look that good to me, and it carried over to this year so far. I mean, I just knew that was a good spot for Texas State, being that they never won the matchup. I thought they were due there. Yeah, they won by what, like 40?
I wanted to thank you boys quickly. Just from learning in the past couple podcasts, it's just real simple. I didn't know shit about college football, and I got Oklahoma State, Texas State in the parlay. I think it was Texas State that I put in the parlay.
No, you took Oklahoma State and Texas together.
Was it Oklahoma State and Texas? Yeah, see, and there's still
yeah.
But it cashed nicely. So thank you. I appreciate it from knowledge that I've gained from the podcast so far.
Hell yeah. See, y'all just got to tune in and listen. You'll get plays, even if we don't give you, plays that we're betting at the moment. You'll get some reads based off what we're saying.
For sure.
But yeah, that was a blowout win. So that was awesome. And then what else did we have? We had, I was just going through my card basically. Then we had Cal. This is another one that I liked a lot too. That
Cal,
on the live was Cal plus 12. And I knew that line was weird. I knew that, I was just reading lines all week, and I guess that's why I crushed it. I saw that line, I knew something was up. Cal has a great running game. Jaden Ott, like you mentioned, one of the best running backs in the nation. Have a decent transfer quarterback. I think their quarterback's better than what Auburn has. And
Yeah.
Thorne, was it Thorne? They
Peyton
got Thorne.
Thorne's terrible.
He's mid, dude. Anyways, I just didn't think that number was right. And look, they won outright. 21-14. That was such a weird game too. So that was another.
Yeah, sure.
I wish I would have took the money line. I was sick, I didn't, but I'll take the spread win, of course, all day. So that was another good one. Then we had ECU, which I watched this game, and it was one of the most disgusting games I've ever seen. Jake Garcia, ECU's quarterback, leads the nation now in picks. That man threw like 4 picks, and they still won the game. So that just shows you how trash Old Dominion is, and we'll get to them because they're playing Virginia Tech. You said this week, right? Yeah, dude, they looked awful. Old Dominion's offense couldn't really do anything, and then if you can't move on ECU defense, that's a little rough. So
yeah,
that's a red flag right there itself. So yeah, ECU money line was a nice little win too. I had that for plus 102. Nice little underdog there. I thought the line was weird there too. I knew they were the better team. You're going to give me the better team at plus money, I'm going to take it. So that's why I took them there. And then we hit that parlay. I had the 4-leg parlay with Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Tennessee, and then who was the last leg?
Texas.
I hit that 4-leg parlay. That was a nice little 2-unit winner right there. And then one of the only L's I had, the only L of the day, was freaking Oregon, who remember I said they were my Big Ten winner. I'm going back on that shit now. I don't like this team. I don't like how maybe they change their ways and they start breaking things open. This offense has been kind of struggling, dude.
I just think they're trying to stay too simple. Like, open it up. Like,
right. Like, they'll open it up on certain drives, they'll have the big play, and then other drives, they're just like stagnant, and then they punt and they don't get anything going.
It's not even just that. Like, the offense they ran with Bo, they need to be running with Dylan because Dylan's more talented than Bo, and you're talking about somebody that has a ton of offensive gifted abilities when you're talking about hitting tight windows, being able to roll out, things of that nature, and they're just like staying stagnant and running draws and screens and crap. I'm like, what are we doing?
Dude, that's the shit that UNC would do, and that shit would make me so mad. Running freaking screens all the time, and
I had a bad beat as well. My only other L that I gave out was Utah minus 14. Cam Rising got hurt early. Was a bummer there. Otherwise, I feel like they would have easily covered that because they were up like 21-3 at one point.
What did he injure?
They haven't disclosed more or less what the severity of his injury was, but I believe it was his ankle, which is not a good look either because, as we've said, Utah and all should win the Big 12, but
who I picked though?
Oklahoma State. But the issue is, dude, if Cam Rising can't stay freaking healthy, Utah ain't gonna do nothing. You know me. I'm a huge. He injured his right hand or his left hand. Nothing serious is what ESPN reported. Sorry, not his ankle. But But yeah, me. I love Kyle Whittingham. He's probably top 3 coach in the nation for me, dude. Like the things he does with the lack of talent that he has half the time is insanity. He's getting 3 stars, dude, and projecting out a top, 15 team every year. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, he's a great coach for sure. But you're right. They got to have Cam Rising.
They got to
for them to be in any contention for the Big 12 title, in my opinion. So moving on, then my last win of the day was Washington State, which they played Texas Tech. That was a close game. That was a good win. They pretty much won that convincingly. Washington State's quarterback looked really good. I was impressed with how he was playing. But then again, Texas Tech is awful. Their defense was horrible.
How do you pronounce bro's name? Mueller or
I ain't gonna do no name.
All right, Rico. I might ask you again. What's Nico's last name?
Nah, I'm not trying it again.
Come on, now we heard it enough on Saturday.
I am Maleva.
Iala Maleva. Good Lord, like. All right.
Well, let's move on to this week. Let's talk about the games this week now. I'll give y'all some leans, predictions, what we think's going to happen here. First, we got Arizona State 2-0 going to Texas State, who's 2-0 as well, who we just made some money on last week. So what do you think here, BK? Arizona State opens as a -2 favorite.
Yeah,
going into Texas State.
If I had to lean, I'd probably take Texas State money line or nothing, just because of like how good they just came off of a game. Arizona State's not playing that great this year so far. They've gotten by more or less, in my opinion. But yeah, man, I would lean with the hot hand, you know.
Yeah, I actually agree with BK. I like Texas State in this game. Arizona State, they're pretty one-dimensional right now. They got a solid running back in Cam Scatteraboo. He's pretty good. I mean, he ran 33 times last game, bro, for 33 attempts, 260 yards. He ran all over.
They're going to run, bro, into the dirt.
Yeah, they ran him all over Mississippi State, which they were winning big early in that game, and they kind of almost let them come back. They ended up winning by 7. But yeah, this line to me says it all. This is another game I just looked at immediately, see that Arizona State's only a 2-point favorite versus Texas State. People who don't know Texas State are going to hammer Arizona State in that game, being the first game of the whole slate, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a public favorite easily there. So, and I just like Texas State's quarterback more. I like their offense more. They look good Saturday, and why not roll? Like you said, why not roll with the hot hand there? So I'm gonna have to go Texas State as well. That's probably going to be a play of mine when Thursday comes. So let's roll with Texas State. Next, we got UNLV. And the other game on Thursday, I don't even want to talk about because it's Northwestern State and South Alabama. I'm not touching that game. So we'll just go right to UNLV and Kansas. Who you got in that one? Got Kansas opening up as the -7.5. Some books 7 favorite.
I'd probably take Kansas at the 7 just to get right. A lot of people are hyping up UNLV and their offense. They score a lot of points. They're looking like probably one of the better group of 5 teams. But even still, I think that Kansas will be able to control the line of scrimmage with Neal. He's going to get a lot more burn this game, I feel like. You know, keep it simple for Daniels. Don't make him throw too dang much like he had to on Saturday, and he'll work out well for you.
Oh, I agree. UNLV, man, I don't know about them yet. They haven't really played anybody. So Houston's, I don't think high of Houston this year. So that doesn't really show me anything there. I mean, they do have some decent receivers. Their quarterback looks to be all right, but I think Kansas gets right in the spot. Yeah, I think -7 is a good line there. I think some people are going to jump on the UNLV side, being that it's looking to be a sharp play. People are thinking it's going to be a sharp line there. I think Kansas with the 7 is the right play, though. I see them winning this game probably by 10 to 14, maybe more than that.
And it's like I said. The only reason
why Jalen Daniels keeps the picks to a minimum.
Yeah, but no, the reason why that line is the way it is just because of the amount of points that UNLV's put up in their first couple games. They put up some absurd numbers in points wise, so that's why people are looking at it that way. I can understand it, but at the same time, I'm gonna take the talent off of Kansas. So
yeah, the over/under is very high in that game too at 56.5. Pretty interesting.
Not a shock.
I mean, not a shock at all, right? You know, these teams are more offense than defense.
Yeah,
even though Kansas did play to the under last game, but yeah, I think Kansas is the move here. They get right in the spot. -7 at home. I'm gonna go with that as well. Sorry. Next we got Kansas State at home versus Arizona. Now this is gonna be a really good game. I think this is gonna be a high scoring game too. Obviously the total says so at 58.
Yeah.
Kansas State's defense just hasn't impressed me at all, and we know Arizona's got weapons. McMillan on the outside, he's dirty. He's Fafita at quarterback. So yeah, but Kansas State also has weapons themselves, so it's gonna be, people would think, a really high scoring game here. But I don't bet totals, so you know that's just what I think. They're definitely gonna be high scoring, but I think Arizona is the side for me though.
Yeah.
With the 7.
I'm going to take a money line, and the only reason why I say that is Avery Johnson can't pass the ball. I watched that whole entire Tulane game. He cannot complete a pass consistently over 10 yards. Like, it's bad. And he's a talented
runner, though. Great runner.
Man, he's got great legs, but it's like, God almighty, son, if you can't hit, somebody hitting a seam route and you just hitting it right there.
Yeah. And I also think this line should be more of like a 3.5, 4 point spread.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of a inflated line here, and I'm not seeing the hype for Kansas State just because they're at home, I guess is why this line's the way it is. But yeah, I lean to Arizona with the 7 points, and I'm definitely sprinkling the money line for sure.
And not only that, but I trust Zona's defense more. Their defensive front is way better than Kansas State's. Kansas State can stop the run pretty well. I think they were only giving up like 83 yards in a game for rushing. But I don't know. I feel like they have the better group all around. Arizona does.
Yeah, I definitely like Arizona in the spot. I think they get right here. Like I said, the 7 points doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Maybe it's bait, but I like Arizona here. I think they get it done. Next, we got the Saturday games, starting with Memphis and Florida State. This is an interesting one because Mike Norvell's coaching versus old team. DJU's just looked like straight trash. Florida State's 0-2 going into this one. Memphis 2-0. Florida State is the home team here. What do you think here, BK? 6.5.
This is another team that, is probably one of the stronger group of 5 teams. Talking about one of those teams that could be in for that 12th spot of the playoff. Memphis is one of those. If they want to show they can do that, it's this weekend. I kind of like Florida State to get right. But in the same sense, it's the same thing you told me earlier. You're not touching that game with a 10-foot pole. I'm not either because DJU is poop. And I told you he was going to do the same things he's doing at Florida State that he did at Clemson and that he did at Oregon. He is the same quarterback that walked on campus in Clemson 3 years ago. He's the same exact guy. And that's the problem. He never progressed. And it's like he stayed stagnant. He never grew. So it's like, I don't know, man. I've always wished the guy well because he is a class act. He's a great person. But at the end of the day, being a good person don't win you football games. So
right. Business is business, as they say.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, it's a tough game. I mean, I like the quarterback for Memphis. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think Florida State wins this game, but I don't know, man. I really feel like Memphis could hang with them, if not win. I just think people are still gonna bet Florida State just because it's Florida State. And they see they're playing Memphis. Oh, they're only -6.5. They lost 2 straight. No way they're going to lose 3 straight. No way it happens. I don't know, man. This Florida State team is just not good, dude. They're just not.
Their defense hasn't shown up for a game yet, which is shocking because they had, in my opinion,
and they just lost a receiver, Jalen. They lost a receiver or running back. I'm pretty sure Lucas lost one of their key players on offense, though. I know that too. Florida State just did, but. That being said, the line is tricky at 6.5. Like I already told you earlier, I'm not betting this game, not touching it with a 10-foot pole. But if I had to go aside, why not give me the dog, Memphis, for the show? That's all I'll go with. Memphis +7. I'd buy it up a half. But yeah, let's move on. Yeah, I can't trust DJU. Just can't do it. Moving on, we got NC State, Louisiana Tech. I don't really even want to talk about this one. Move on from that. They're 21.5-point favorites. NC State looked horrible last week versus Tennessee.
We'll wait for
in a big way, probably here though, versus a Tennessee or a Louisiana Tech team.
We'll wait to have our little state bit next week when Clemson,
when you play
whoop that ass.
Yeah, can't wait for that. A couple other games I just don't even want to go over. Let's go straight to LSU in South Carolina. It's going to be a good one. This one we talked about earlier. We got LSU going into South Carolina -7. Interesting game. South Carolina is surprising people so far this season.
Interesting game.
10-point dogs go into Kentucky, 10-point dogs and win outright. Not even outright.
Like 30.
They smoked them. They fucking smoked. Sorry, excuse my name. They smoked them. But yeah, -7-point favorites here going into South Carolina. What do you think about this one? I think LSU could get right here, but
I think LSU's
got running back tearing his ACL is kind of worrisome.
I think LSU is going to dog walk them, in my opinion. Their defense is not going to be able to hold up. Stewart's a good young freshman pass rusher for South Carolina. I do like him. He's an exceptional player. He's played good so far, playing as a youngster. But even still, dude, like LSU's just got way too much talent in comparison to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And when you want to talk about South Carolina's offense, is just, in my opinion, even in the game versus Kentucky, Kentucky's not a team that has some exceptional defense. They've been able to tame, most teams have been able to tame, your Rocket Sanders and people like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to take the team that I know has the talent and that I've seen them play on a big stage, and they came up just a little bit short. I don't think they're going to come up short again where they're going to lose to a South Carolina team. I love this spot. I love them at -7. Go ahead and take it down to 6.5 just to where, you have it. But, yeah, man, I think they tail away pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the same play here on this one. I like LSU here. I just think this is a get-right spot as well. I mean, coming off that tough loss, they really should have, and could have won that game versus USC. I just think they have the better defense, better in the trenches, better quarterback as well. The quarterback for South Carolina looked good last game, but
Lenore's
still young. They struggled with Old Dominion, dude. And I just saw how bad Old Dominion was this past week, dude. Yeah, give me LSU with the 7 points here. I think this line is right, or about right. I think typically if they would have came off a win, it would have probably been 10 points or higher. But I think it's about right where it's at. Could be close at first, but I think LSU pulls away. Moving on to the next one. What do we got next here? 12 o'clock. We got Alabama, Wisconsin.
That's an odd line, bro. What is it, 16?
-16, Alabama. Wow.
It's a weird line.
What do you think about that?
I mean, we all
they're going into Wisconsin too.
Yeah, and we all just watched Alabama struggle versus USF. I don't think they struggled 2 games in a row. I'm not going to take them at -16. If anything, I'll buy it to like maybe -13.5, throw it in a lay and call it a day. But yeah, dude, there's no way on God's green earth I'm about to sit there and lay Wisconsin's poo-poo offense with the points.
Yeah, no shot. No shot I'm betting Wisconsin here, y'all. No. I like to bet dogs, but there's dogs that are just like, I think are pretty unrealistic, and I don't think it's happening for Wisconsin, man. I don't see it. Alabama's way too big in the trenches here. Defense is way stronger. Yeah.
Receivers.
Give me Jalen Milroe over Tyler Van Dyke all day.
Cool.
Yeah. So I like Alabama here. They probably beat them by – it could be close on the spread. That's why I'm not going to bet this game, but I like Alabama to cover, if anything, if I had to pick. So that's what I would go with there. Let's move on to Boston College and Missouri.
Another weird line. What was that line?
That one's -16.5 Missouri.
God. Books are trying to get somebody this weekend, man. One of those 2 games is going to get a lot of people. That's all I'm going to tell you. Probably is going to be a stay-away spot for me. I think Missouri's probably going to dog walk them. I do like the fact that Missouri's offense has looked really, really good, but Bill O'Brien has Boston College looking real good.
Yeah, they made it terrible.
And I mean, I don't think they're warranted to be ranked. Don't get me wrong; they should not be 23rd in the nation. I don't care what anybody says. But even still, dude, they've played really well so far. I do think they're way more improved than what they were when they had Jeff Hafley. That's for sure. But yeah, even still, dude, Missouri's defense is kind of shoddy, and you're going to give 16.5. If I had to lean one way, it's probably going to be Boston College, only because I expect them to stay in the game, but Missouri's still going to win this outright, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this game, if I'm being honest. Don't really have a good read here on this spread. It's kind of about where I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be about a 2-touchdown spread.
They gave it a little juice.
Yeah, I could see Boston College with a backdoor cover or even keeping it close for a while in this game. I would lean Boston College as well with the points. I'm not betting this game. I just don't like the number. Try to stay away from the bigger spreads, like I told you before, BK. I don't like really laying or backing dogs over 14. It's just
you didn't this weekend
unless I really like it. Like App State plus 17. I told you Clemson first quarter. I said Clemson's going to come out and smack
first quarter. I mean, bro, the game was over 5
they
minutes
were up
into
35-0 in the first quarter or something like that. It was
most
nuts.
Points ever scored by an ACC team in a half. And if you would have told me Cade Klubnik if you would have told me Cade Klubnik was going to come out and score 25 of 27 passing with 7 total touchdowns, I would have said you're drunk. But I mean,
I would have
hey,
said you're freaking crazy.
crap happens, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Now
They
you don't
woke
know.
up.
Now we don't know what to think of Clemson again.
No,
that was
don't.
but that was App State though, so
I
that's
know.
not enough to
Hey,
sway me.
One thing I did want to know on that game, though, I said when the season started that the difference makers for Clemson were going to be TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco. TJ Moore had a touchdown on Saturday, and Bryant Wesco had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns on Saturday. So I said it.
I mean,
those
I would
guys are
hope
going to
so
be
with all them
difference
points.
makers. Yeah, no, I know. Jake Brennan still had a day too, though, man. So
he did. But shit, moving on to these 3:30 games on the Saturday slate, we got West Virginia traveling to Pittsburgh. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to back the country roads again after they took me to the woodshed. They took me straight to the woodshed and just killed me. I don't know if I want to.
It's in West Virginia?
No, it's in Pittsburgh.
Okay, well, at least we don't have to hear that stupid song.
Yeah, West Virginia is the favorite, though, which is interesting. What do you think about this?
I'm not going to bet on probably this game, period, because if I'm going to lean one way, it's going to be West Virginia, and I'm not betting on Pitt. Pitt's terrible. Pitt gave up. Pitt did come back this week, though. Looked pretty decently doing it versus Cincinnati, but they don't have Hammonds Jr., their best running back. Their offense looks terrible. The defense looks about like a Pat Narduzzi defense, but even still, I'm not doing it. I'm not betting either of these teams. I'm staying the heck away. But if I had to pick a side, it would be West Virginia with the points.
I love West Virginia here.
Oh, God.
And I hate saying it again because I'm scared, but I just think this is a great spot for them, dude. They know they got to win this game. I like their offense a lot more than Pittsburgh's. Like you said, dude, they're not good this year. And I think this line, they're 1-1 on the road going to a 2-0 team. They're -2. I just think this line is right where it needs to be. And it's low enough and got enough value for me to take West Virginia here. And I think they're going to be, by game time, probably a pick 'em. It could go in the other way, but in the other, meaning it could go more in West Virginia's favor. But I just got to go with the better offense here. Got to go with Garrett Green. I thought they were going to freaking beat Penn State. So you're telling me I think they're going to beat Penn State? Why wouldn't they beat Pitt?
Yeah.
Give me West Virginia. I might lay 2-3 units on this play right here.
Rico
hopefully I don't
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, going back to it. I don't think they take me to the woodshed this time.
Ain't that what they sing? Isn't that what they sing there, bro? Sorry to mess up your pick there. I know you said West Virginia, but isn't that what they sing there? They sing the Sweet Caroline. Fuck you, Pitt.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they do, bro?
No, eat shit, Pitt.
Eat shit, Pitt. That's what it is. That damn. I'm like, dude, out of all things y'all can say, that's it.
Because I remember they played them last year, and I was at the casino watching the game, and I remember they said, eat shit, Pitt. I was like, yo, this stadium is rocking, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it's in Pittsburgh this time. It's not going to be rocking like it was. I think West Virginia, there's no home field advantage for Pitt, basically what I'm saying. I think this line is right. Give me West Virginia all day here for sure.
They play in Pittsburgh Stadium, right? The Steelers Stadium. What is that stadium called now? I know it's Heinz Field.
But now it's called like
Allegiant or something like that.
Esquire Stadium. I don't even remember the exact name, but they changed it to something.
Yeah.
Something weird. But moving on to the next game. What do we got next here? Tulane, Oklahoma. You want to talk about that one? Got Tulane going into Oklahoma +14 underdogs.
Oklahoma looked like poop this past weekend. I'll say that much. Tulane looked really, really, really good versus a ranked Kansas State team. They've stayed with it. Their quarterback was, dealing. He made a mistake at the end of the game. I don't know, man. I think Tulane with the points probably is the spot, but at the same time, do I want to bet against a BV defense? I don't know yet.
Yeah, that's not a game I'm probably going to bet, but I like Tulane with the 14 as well. Just solely based off what I saw versus Kansas State. And then, I think, I don't know, maybe it's recency bias. I don't know, but I like Tulane with the points too. I think that's a good play. They might even upset them, dude. I wouldn't be shocked.
Who knows?
we just saw freaking Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame.
Whew,
By the way, we didn't even talk about that. That's insanity, bro. That was awesome.
So
that coach is hilarious.
So in that game, the craziest part about it was earlier in the day, I used a no sweat token. I took Bowling Green versus Penn State, and I was like, dude, they're rolling. I was like, screw it. And then I got the bonus bet money from that back because they didn't, of course, win. But then I turned around and said, screw it. You know, Northern Illinois is playing really good versus Notre Dame. Give me another one. That one cash, $10 and 101. I was like,
hell yeah. Dude, Saturday, just everything was hitting for us. It was awesome.
It was rolling, that's for sure.
Hopefully we have another one of those weeks this week, which I think we will, because I'm liking these spots a lot this week. I'm not going to lie. I really do. Moving on to the next one. I don't really want to talk about Oregon State. It's another pretty big spread.
What about Washington State?
Washington, yeah, let's move on to that one. Washington State. We got Washington State going to Washington, not too far away, huh? No. Washington is the minus 4.5 point favorite here. What you got here?
If I had to swing one way, it's probably going to be Washington State. I might wait and see what the line moves to. I do like their, like you said earlier in the pod, man. Their quarterback can move. So Washington's kind of depleted. Will Rogers has looked really good there so far, so I wouldn't be shocked if he comes out and has a day either. But big time rivalry game. First time these two teams are not in the same conference anymore. So, you know, you got a lot playing on it. I think Washington.
You know who won the matchup last year? Washington, obviously. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, crushed them too.
Yeah, I think Washington State with the upset here is going to be my pick too. Like you said, I like the way the quarterback looked, dude. He was shifty running the ball. Man. Like Will Rogers is good, don't get me wrong, but they haven't played anybody yet. And
no.
The only thing that concerns me for Washington State though is they have no running game.
No.
Outside of the quarterback running the ball. They have no running game. So
but the other thing that's positive is Washington also has just played 2 poop soup teams, and they only scored a combined 60 points in those 2 games. So that's not
Washington
really
is like horrible against the pass too, and that's what Washington State does really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like the spot with the plus money. Yeah, I like the spot with the plus money. Give me Washington State here as well. We've agreed on most of these for the most part, which is kind of shocking because last week we didn't agree on a lot of them. Honest, not a lot of them, but. There
was a couple spots like the GT game spot, stuff like that.
Next, we got Purdue hosting Notre Dame, and I think this is a weird line right here. I'm not going to lie. Notre Dame minus 10.5 going into Purdue. What do you think about this one?
I'm buying it down to 9.5 and slamming Notre Dame. They're going to come in there piss the hell off.
Right. You think so?
Hell yeah, dude. You just you just paid Northern Illinois $1.6 million to come into your place and beat you.
Yeah.
They're going to come out there pissed. I mean, you're talking about a market.
I just think the line
defense.
Is weird, though. I agree with you. It is
odd, but
I still think the line is weird, dude.
That's the reason why I feel like it's weird is because the fact like they just lost and Vegas is taking that into account. That's why I said I'm gonna buy it down to 9.5 and slam them because I feel like they're gonna just bash the shit out of Purdue.
Yeah, so. I feel like this is a Notre Dame win pretty convincingly too. But it's just the line's a little sketchy. I'm not betting it, but maybe a live spot if I had a chance to. But I would lean Notre Dame with the 10.5 too, but still think it's a weird spot. I wouldn't bet it, me personally. Next we got Florida and Texas A&M. And
that's
this
a weird game,
this is another spot where I love. Well, not love, really. I wouldn't say love. I like it right now.
You about to tell me you like the Gators again?
Maybe.
Oh, God.
We got Texas A&M coming into Florida at minus 4.5 favorites, dude. In Florida. What you think here?
I don't know what the hell to think,
Connor Weigman, bro. Connor Weigman.
I'm not trusting Connor Weigman. I'm trusting Mike Elko over Billy Napier. Billy Napier is a bum, dude.
That's where I had trouble too.
Billy Napier is so bummy, like and
DJ Lagway isn't though.
Just about to say it. Just to point out though, like I said in the very first episode, don't be shocked if you see DJ Lagway some way within the season. we saw him a lot earlier than what I expected. I said 5 games in, and if you're looking like 1-4, you might as well go ahead and play the kid. Well, Graham Mertz gets a concussion. Sorry to hate it for him. Don't want to ever see somebody get injured. But Lagway stepped in last week versus Sanford, balled. He's going to start again this weekend. I hope he answers the bell. I mean, I like the kid. Like I said, I wanted him at Clemson. We were in his top 3, so. Even still, man, I think he's going to go out there. He's from Florida, so he puts that state on his back, was what he says. So I don't know, man. It's hard for me to bet on a Billy Napier-led team. He's so bad. I agree.
The coaching advantage is definitely significant.
Yeah, and I mean,
A&M's favor.
And
agree.
A&M, the other thing that I feel like.
I think I'm going to not bet this game. I know I just said I liked it, but the more I'm thinking about it, it's just I don't want to go again. The coaching disadvantage is huge for sure.
Yeah, because Elko's going to have his defense ready. Regardless of who the hell they play, he's always going to have his defense ready.
Definitely. Yeah, he's a defensive mind, yeah.
And so when you're looking at that spot, I mean, Billy Napier was a freaking quarterbacks coach, dude. I don't know. I have no clue where to place this game. If I had to bet anything, like I said, I guess I would take A&M. I'm staying the hell away. It's ugly.
Yeah. Me personally, I like Florida in this game. I would take them with the plus money. I don't like it as much as the more you talked about it, the less I liked it. Because like you said, the coaching disadvantage is huge on the Florida side. I do like DJ Lagway a lot, though. I think he keeps them in this. I think he keeps them in this game, and I think that they move the ball a lot better with him, dude. With Graham Mertz, they just look like stagnant, awful.
Well, you're relying on Mertz's talents, which is very minimal. Not trying to,
right?
Not trying to kick the dude in the teeth, but it is what it is.
Yeah, right. Like you said, man, DJ Lagway came in and he looked good immediately. Balled versus Samford. I think he keeps it going.
Yeah, man.
I like Florida with the plus money and the points in this game. If I had to pick a side here, which I don't know if I am. Moving on, got Appalachian State going to East Carolina, and this is a spot that I love right here.
Yeah,
give me Appalachian State -2.5. Absolutely love it. They're gonna, I think, destroy ECU in this game. Honestly, I think they're gonna destroy them.
You said a stat to me. You said a stat to me earlier today that made me instantly go, "Yep, that's me." So when you were sitting there talking about the fact that ECU beat Old Dominion with 6 freaking turnovers, you give Appalachian State 6 turnovers, the game's going to be done. Like,
you're getting cooked.
And not only that, but Clemson just beat the brakes off of App State. App State's going to come out pissed off. You're talking about an in-state game as well when you're playing ECU.
I might bet this tonight, actually. Like the more that I'm thinking about it, because this line is going to go to 3.5, maybe even get up to 4.5, something like that. So I might jump on this tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I hear
Give me App State, though. I think they're the way better team here, way more talent, both sides of the ball. Quarterback's better. They just got smoked in a game. Usually, like you said, when you get a team who just gets smoked, you come right back and take them the next game.
You got to get a good
get back spot. Yeah. And this is an in-state rivalry game. And App State has what? I think they've owned the matchup too in the past 5. Yeah, past 5 they played. Way better offense. I don't trust Jake Garcia for anything after what I saw. Nothing. The dude was he was throwing into double coverage like it was nothing. Dude was about to get sacked. He just throws the ball in there.
He's transferred like 3 times.
I was like, what? And throw it out of bounds. Dude was just throwing it in the air to midfield. It was crazy.
Did they not get another transfer quarterback? Why are they playing Jay?
I'm not sure, dude. He played for most of the season last year.
Okay. All right.
Funny thing is, dude, he was in a Netflix series too.
I remember it. No. He was the #1 quarterback in his class, or in his state, rather. Excuse me. He transferred schools in the middle of the year and then got in trouble because he didn't submit the correct paperwork and he couldn't finish out his senior season. Yeah, I remember Jake Garcia.
Yeah. Yeah, so this game's going to be interesting, man. I just like App State more offensively and defensively here. I think this line, like I said, is going to go up. And the only thing that is concerning, it's going to be rocking in ECU. You already know that. It's an in-state game. It's going to be rocking, but give me App State to get it done. I think they win 7 points or more easily here.
What, ECU's going to be hyped for what? 1 quarter, and then everybody's going to be too drunk.
And then everybody's going to be wasted and leave.
Yep. They're gonna be too dang drunk to remember where they are. That's Greenville, North Carolina, for you, bro.
That's right. I'm dead. Moving on to the next one. We got a few left, and then we're gonna get up out of here, y'all. What's the last few I want to go over here? Skipping over a
VT.
lot
Give me
of these, so
VT.
give me a second. Oh yeah, VT and Old Dominion. So this is another spot where me and BK were liking a lot. Give us Virginia Tech. I know they've looked shaky the past couple weeks, but I think versus a bad Old Dominion team, like I've seen them the past 2 weeks versus South Carolina and versus ECU. Yeah, they kept it close versus South Carolina, but they showed their true colors versus a bad team like ECU. And I made money on ECU, and I know they're not good. So
yeah,
give
VT
me
in the
Virginia
get right
Tech.
spot too. Yeah,
Mhm.
VT with the get right spot too, man. They're gonna go in there, try and basically out muscle him, and they got the muscle to do it. But Jones has got to get going, bro. He's played like crap to start the season. I feel like this is that game for him where he's going to go out and show the nation.
And it's an in-state game too.
Yeah.
That's why the spread is where it is, I feel like, because people know that it's an in-state game.
Yeah. It's in ODU, ain't it?
And it's at ODU.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be packed there, but it's freaking going to be mostly Virginia Tech fans. Yeah, mostly Virginia Tech fans.
15,000 people there. What is their
stands
fit? Like
probably
maybe 25?
Yeah, and it's going to be 70-30 probably Virginia Tech.
Yeah, exactly.
Fan-wise, so yeah, I like Virginia Tech to roll that team. Probably by 21 plus for sure. Any other games here? Definitely not betting this, but Ole Miss is playing Wake Forest. I think that's funny. Ole Miss is going to destroy them.
What's the line?
Minus 24.
You're joking. That's it?
Yeah, I might take Ole Miss with the 24.
I'm not going to lie to you, bro.
Or we could tease them down.
Tease them down? I might tease them up. Bro, 24 versus Wake Forest?
Yeah, minus 30 alt spread. Probably
give me alt spread like minus 27.5 for plus money, bro. Like, I don't know, man. That I might actually take that, like, because Wake Forest is abysmal. They just lost to Virginia.
Virginia at home. That's
crappy ass Virginia.
Like 2 wins already. I'm already sweating, boys. But don't worry, don't worry. Their schedule gets tough. We're good.
Do they play Carolina this year?
Hold on, let me see. I actually think they do. No, they don't. We don't play them.
No, actually, you're lucky.
Yes, we do. We do.
Oh, then you're done. God. You're gonna lose that game. You're gonna lose to them at GT like you do every year. No,
we're not doing that again. Stop. Don't wish that on my team. Stop that. Anyway, is there any other games here that I want to go over? Yeah, there is. There's a few more.
What's one?
Here's one that I just saw this game just now because we didn't talk about it earlier. UCF and TCU. So we got UCF going into TCU. TCU the minus 1.5 point favorite.
Huh?
Yeah. Give me UCF all day.
Yeah, give me UCF there, bro.
All day long, dude. Plus money. For sure. Give me UCF plus money. I like this play a lot.
A way more talented offense in UCF. I'm astonished that they're freaking dogs going into this game.
As long as KJ Jefferson doesn't turn the ball over and do any dumb shit.
They got to run him more, bro. They got to run him a lot more. Facts. He's a running back playing quarterback with a decent arm. That's the way you have to look at it. You have to give him those read options, those QB draws, those QB wraps. You have to give them to him.
Facts. Yeah, we're both going with UCF in this one. I don't want to talk too much about this one. One more game we'll go over, y'all. We're wrapping up the show for tonight. We got Maryland. This is a fun one to wrap it up on too, right? Maryland versus Virginia. Woo. We got Maryland, the minus 2.5 point favorite going into Virginia. And this game is going to be very, very important for me, obviously, because I have Virginia under 4.5 wins. They start 3-0. It really gets sweaty for me. I like Maryland in this spot. Maryland just came off a bad loss to Michigan State. They should have won that game. They choked it. I think they get right in the spot versus I still think a bad Virginia team. Don't let the 2-0 fool you. I'm taking Maryland with the 2.5. There's a lot of teams, if you notice, that I've liked so far this week that are 2.5 point favorites on the road. Give me Maryland in this spot. I think
the other thing I wanted to note about this game that a lot of people probably aren't necessarily thinking about, this is a big recruiting battle game. Maryland and Virginia are extremely close to each other, and they have the same pipeline. So it's going to be exponential that one of them gets the dub. And if you do, and you got a lot of recruits there, you could be talking, pulling in more people. So I trust Maryland's talent.
I think their offense and defense is better, both sides.
Especially on both sides of the ball. I definitely trust Maryland's coaching over freaking Virginia's too. Virginia's coaching's terrible.
Games in Virginia, though, does that make it any of effect to you, really? UVA home game, bro.
It is not. You're not going to play in Blackwater, all right? So you're not. You're not Virginia Tech.
You mean Blacksburg? You said Blackwater.
Excuse me. I said Blackwater. Blacksburg, Virginia. Even still, dude.
Yeah, you still got the vid, bro. You good?
I'm too focused on the game tonight, man. I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
but yeah, man.
This is gonna wrap up the episode. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Next episode, we're gonna maybe break down a conference. I think from now until the end, we're just gonna go over recaps and go over next week's games.
I mean,
that's the way I'm trying to do it. The season's already going. There's no point in going over the conferences now.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants us to talk about the Big 12 and the conference,
let's hear it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know, man. Let us know what y'all want to hear. If that's something
I was gonna get to that too. Yeah, I was gonna get to that too. Y'all need to subscribe the podcast, share it with your people. Share it with anybody who likes college football. Yeah, show us some love. And, we'll keep, giving out free picks and all the good info we can to y'all. And we appreciate y'all tuning in. It's going to end the episode tonight. And y'all have a good night.